Good morning everybody, welcome to day 5, and it is morning. I'm starting earlier today, the clocks have gone back and I didn't remember to reset my phone, so I was up an hour earlier, but that's good because I got all my little jobs done earlier than I needed to and I'm on this much quicker. Right, update. It's been near enough 36 hours since I've put anything in this, and I spent the whole day yesterday trying to dry it. If you've seen the video, it was the Hoover and the heat gun, and I don't think the camera's going to pick it up, but we'll try. There's still dribbling water out in there. I moved it into the house overnight, so it's in the kitchen. I figured it'd be a bit warmer in here, about 10 degrees warmer, but I think you can just about see in the end there. If I get the torch, you'll be able to see in the bottom there. There you go. Can you see that is still wet? There's still water coming out of the thing. But I can't wait any longer. It's going to get pickled today. So I'm going to plonk it out on the table, give it a quick vacuum out, then I'm going to plug the end up with a candle, strap it up to the gazebo post in a bucket, and I'm going to fill it up with vinegar. So see you in a sec. Okay, we're all set and we're ready to go. Here's the vinegar. If you're worried about what it actually is, it says white vinegar. 5 litres, so it's the same content as the Wins, 5 litres. I'm hoping it only takes half to fill it up, because that means I can use the Wins twice. I'll use half of it when I clean it through, flush it through a few times with it, and then empty it out and start with fresh. And I may do the same with the vinegar, I don't know. But here goes. Start tipping it in. Yep, the candle's not leaking, it's leaking from the actual DPF again. There we go. Filled right up to the top. Well, there's a fair good flow down there from somewhere. But that's okay. And we have used, well, not even half. That's good. Like I said, that means that when I come to do the Wins, I can use half of it, flush that through with a cup, just keep tipping it through, tipping it through, tipping it through, and then after a certain amount of time, when it gets dirty enough, just bin what's come out and start with the other half and repeat. Shame I can't get it to seal up totally, but no, as you can see, this is clear like water, so we're going to see what comes out, if anything. Right, we're just going to keep doing this pretty much all day. Been running through for about half an hour so far. You can see inside, it hasn't drained all the way through yet. It is leaking a bit round the candle, but not much. As you can see, it's coming out completely clear, the same as it went in pretty much. But knowing how this soaks stuff up, like a sponge basically, I'm not actually worried about keeping it filled up, because I know that the whole of the inside will be impregnated with it, and if it's going to do anything, this is more of a, how can I word this? It's a reaction. You want it to soak rather than flush through. I've done it this way up because when I used the Hydro Shot, all the dirt was coming out of this end. This end was coming out pretty clean. So that's the end I want the vinegar to sit at. Hopefully it's going to start loosening up the ash in there. I don't expect great results from this, I've got to be honest. If I get any tinge of colour to it, I'll be happy. But it may well just stay clear. But I know that it's going to have that chemical reaction with the ash. Very, very gradually it will start to break it down a little bit. Well, at least that's the theory. I could be totally off here. Gotta say, it's white vinegar. The smell's not too bad. It's not like malt vinegar that absolutely stinks. There's not a great deal of smell to the white vinegar. And as for disposal when I finished, well, I'll show you where it's going. Apparently it's a great weed killer. And look at this lot. Guess where I'm going to be chucking the vinegar when I finished. It's going over that, because I own dogs and they're in the garden all the time, and you can't put weed killer in the garden when you've got dogs. Well, this is food grade vinegar. You can eat it, you can put it on your chips, you can do what you like with it. So I figure it's not going to harm the dogs on the ground, because long before they come out it will have soaked into the ground anyway. And this is Cardiff. We get a lot of rain. Pretty much every day. We don't get many dry days, even during the summer. I think this year we had about 2 weeks of dry weather. So I'm not actually worried about vinegar. It's going to get flushed away pretty quick anyway. As with all the stuff I've washed through it so far, it all got chucked on the garden, because it'll all get washed away and soaks into the ground. The only thing I won't chuck on the garden will be the winds when I use that, because from what I understand there's some nasty chemicals in that. And that will probably just go back into the container, and I'll probably use the vinegar container actually, because it's empty. I'll transfer the dirty stuff to that, and I'll probably just store it forever. Or you never know, one day I might need to clean another DPF, I'll use the same stuff. Unless it comes out like sludge, of course. But it could be used as a first flush on another DPF, and then you buy a fresh container full to finish cleaning it with, and I wouldn't have to go through all this nonsense. I'm not sure if this vinegar is actually going to do anything. So the science is sound. It's an acid. It should help to break down the ash. It's a very weak acid, like I said. It's only about 5%. But it's an acid nevertheless. It is going to break it down some. As you can see, that's dribbling through there very slowly. And we've still got... it's still over the top of the actual DPF inside. So... pretty pleased with that. Like I said, this is going to be a good 4 or 5 hours like this. Clocks have gone forward, so it'll probably get dark about 5 o'clock tonight. So round about 4 o'clock-ish, I will fish this out, stick it on the table, and we'll play with the Hydro Shot again and see what we can actually rinse out of it. I want to get as much of the vinegar out as possible before I put the winds in. But it looks like we're going to be putting the winds in tomorrow at some point. Whether I put it in during the day or whether I wait till the evening, I don't know. Play that by ear, and a lot depends with the weather. Obviously, if it's hammering down a rain, I can't really use the stuff because it will just get diluted. Anyhow, that's probably going to be it now for the bit, until we come to rinse it out. Well, it's taken nearly half hour for it to finally start going through fully. There's still a little bit coming out. As you can see, it's still dripping a little bit. So I'm going to try... I'll put the gloves on. I've got a glass. And as we can see, it's still clear. But that's not unexpected. So, very, very slowly, I shall top it back up. I'll put a glove on because I don't want my hands to stink of vinegar. Not that it will do any harm, like I said, it's food grade vinegar. And if you can eat it, I assume it's not going to be very dangerous. But anyhow, I shall fill this back up again. Vinegar doesn't appear to be doing anything at the moment. But it won't go to waste, like I said. I'll use it as weed killer. And if it stays clear like this, I'll stick it in the sprayer and spray it everywhere. Might even give the patio a spray with it. Anyhow, you don't want to see me just filling that up. Bit boring. Well, nothing as much happened today. I'm going to probably end up pinning day 5 to day 6. Vinegar appears to have done absolutely nothing. I was intending on taking this out and giving it a jet wash through with the pressure washer, but as we can see, if I bring this up here, it's still crystal clear. The vinegar has done absolutely nothing whatsoever as far as I can tell. So I'm going to leave it, whereas I'll be taking that out now, draining it out and using the hydro shot to clean it. I'm just going to leave this to soak for another few hours well into dark, and probably around about 10-11 o'clock tonight I should just take it out of there, take the candle, stand it in the yellow bucket under the shelter, because they forecast rain for tonight. On the plus side, I get to reuse the vinegar for something else. I shall redecant it back into the container and reuse that, because, well, it looks spotless to me. So, yep, that's what I'm going to do. So the next clip will be day 6. Well, good morning everybody. Actually it's afternoon again. Welcome to a very damp and wet Cardiff. Normal service has been resumed, as you can see. This is quite normal weather for us. What have you missed so far? Well, the DPF sat by the post there up until about I'd say 8 o'clock last night, periodically tipping the vinegar through it with the jar there. It was in this bucket, and as you can see, that vinegar's crystal clear. That's all vinegar in there, that's not water, that's vinegar. Needless to say, I shall be redecanting that back into the container, and we will use that for something else one day. Likewise, after I put this in here, there's still a fair bit leaked through. So the vinegar in there has had a good 25 hours now, I would say. Even though it's all leaked out, we know that the blockage and the DPF itself soaks liquid up like a sponge. So we know that that is all still got the vinegar in there. From what I can tell, the vinegar has done absolutely nothing. There's no coloration change at all. It's crystal clear. It looks like water. So the plan for today, I'm going to take the candle out at some point. Another nice leak there. I'm going to take the candle out, stick the DPF on the table out in the rain, and I'm just going to give it a hose out, probably with the hydro shot. Might just use a normal hose pipe just to get the vinegar out, just to dilute the vinegar down. I was hoping to put it on there and give it another good hydro shot in and try and jet out some more black stuff out of it. If I do that, I'm unlikely to be able to video it because of the weather. This is only a normal camera. It's not a waterproof or a video. It's not even a video camera. It's a normal camera that's got a video function. Like I said, I'm not a professional YouTuber or anything like that. I'm just a bloke whose car stopped working and it said DPF, so he's trying to clean it out. Now apparently, from one of the comments, I've knackered the O2 sensor because they're not supposed to get wet. And from what I can understand from the description given by the fellow who left the comment, I can't think of his name now, sorry mate, but thanks for your input anyway. I think it's this thing here. Looking inside, it's got holes in it, and that was what he said in the description. And apparently if you get these wet, they've had it. So I'm going to have to try and source a new one of those, and I'm going to have to get this out. He said they're absolute pigs to get out. So somewhere down the road, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to worry about getting it wet now, because it's already had all sorts put over it. So we're just going to carry on with the spraying and watering through, and eventually the winds. But if anybody's got some info on that and can tell me for sure that I have knackered it, because I don't want to change it if it doesn't need changing, and that is actually the part in question. Also, when I tried looking up O2 sensors online, I kept getting something called a lambda sensor. So if anybody can confirm, are they the same thing? Or if that's something different again. Like I said, day one, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally making this up as I go along. And it's all experimentation, trying to find stuff that cleans a DPF out, so that you don't have to go and spend fortunes on stuff like this. But so far, everything I've put through, I've got to say, the results have been disappointing, to say the least. The only thing that actually works, that actually gets dirt and rubbish out of it, is plain old water. Water seems to be the best thing to clean the DPF out with so far. So anyway, plan for today. I'm going to take that out of there. Well, actually, no, I'm just going to pull a candle out and leave it to drain for a bit more. I've got some other things I've got to do today. So I should just leave that draining with a candle out. At some point, I will put it on there and give it a hose out or a jet out, one or the other. If it stops raining, I'll put it on the decking and video it. If it doesn't, then I may not video it. It all depends on the weather, and this being Cardiff, it probably won't stop. I've pinned, is it day 6? I think it's this is day 6, yeah. I'm pinning this on to day 5, because day 5 was such a short video, and this is likely to be short as well, so you're going to get the two together. But anyhow, please, if you can, leave a comment on anything else I should be trying, or anything that I'm doing wrong. I mean, obviously, time you see the video, it's too late, I've already done it. But, yeah, anything I need to do, or should be doing, or shouldn't have done, please leave a comment. And also, if someone can confirm that this is the O2 sensor, whether it is likely to be knackered or not, because I don't want to put this back on the car and then find out that that's knackered, because it's a lot easier to take it off while this is off the car than doing it on the car. Right, that's it for the moment. Next, I don't know what you're going to see. I'm getting fed up with doing predictions that all come wrong. I keep saying what I'm going to do, and looking back on the videos, everything I say, nothing actually happens like that. It all goes different. So I'm not going to do I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that anymore. We're just going to carry on with whatever happens the way it goes. Catch you all in a bit. Well folks, it's been 4 hours since the first little clip. It's finally stopped raining. Well, it's not fully stopped, but it's stopped enough that I can do a bit of filming. So we've got the hydro shot out. We're going to try and get some of that vinegar out of there, and hopefully a bit more of the black stuff. Now, one of the things I've discovered with the hydro shot is the end goes in there nicely, and if you put the end in there, you don't get soaked. And anybody guess what I forgot to do again? Yep, forgot to turn the water on. You'd think I'd be a bit wiser by now, wouldn't you? There we go. Take 2. YouTubing's not for everyone. It's a lot harder than it looks, all these professional YouTubers, and then you get people like me. Is there water actually going in there? Oh yeah, there's water going in. So I don't know if we're actually doing any good or doing anything, but we'll keep trying. I don't see any black coming out. Well, it's got a tinge to it. Main thing I want to try and do here is get the vinegar out, and the reason for that is I don't know if the winch cleaner has any kind of bleaching agents in it. And as I'm sure we all know, you never want to mix vinegar with bleach. Not a good idea. So I know this thing soaks water up like a sponge, but one good thing that came out of the vinegar experiment was it was a 5 litre container, the same as the wins. And I know that it took half of that 5 litres to fill the DPF up. So I'm actually going to do the wins in 2 applications. Stick one in and leave it to soak overnight. Rinse that through a few times. And then do it again with clean fluid. Providing the first lot comes out contaminated, of course. If it comes out clean, I won't bother. I'll keep using the same stuff. Right, this isn't actually coming out of here very dirty. You can see it's coming out contaminated with something. I think it's the vinegar. But that doesn't actually look that dirty. Well, I think we'll get the glass and we'll have a quick look. See what the colour of that actually is. But that looks pretty clean to me. Yeah, it's a little bit cloudy, but no smell to it. Well, we'll keep on blasting anyway, because like I said, this is more about getting the vinegar out than dirt at the minute. But I think we have reached the apex of how much dirt we're actually going to get out of it. Right, well, seeing as nothing's coming out, I think we'll probably call it. We'll give it a quick little squirt from this end. If I can get far enough back to do it. Yep. This is the exhaust end. This is by far the cleaner end. Ah, and it's coming out dirty out of this end. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Really wasn't expecting that. Definitely coming out dirtier out of this end. Yeah, I know I'm spraying directly onto the O2 sensor, but if water's going to damage that, or any of the stuff I've put in there, that's already happened, so no point worrying about it now. Oh, put it on eco. There we go. That's definitely coming out of there a little bit greyish coloured. Most definitely. Right, we'll give it one last go the other end. And then we'll stand her up and leave her to drain for a few hours. We are definitely getting some black out of there, look. We are still getting some out. Quite a bit coming out now, actually. So I don't know, maybe the vinegar did do something. Oh, it's most definitely coming out of there a little bit dirtier. Most definitely. Right, we'll try altering the end and putting it on 5 degree. Stick that there for a second. Turn that to 5 degrees. See if we get a little bit more that way. I don't think that's made a great deal of difference. I think we've got about as much out as we're going to get out of that. We'll give it another quick go the other end, just to be sure. See if anything comes out this end again. Nope, I think that's pretty much it. Right, stick that down there for a sec. I'll tell you what, I'm not sponsored by anybody, I'm not a professional YouTuber or anything. I'm really not worried about likes or if you want to subscribe or anything, it doesn't worry me in the slightest. If you like it of course. And if you want to subscribe to keep up with the story, then yeah, feel free, but I'm really not worried. Saying that, I'd recommend everybody to get one of these. I bought this about 3-4 years ago, and you'll be amazed for things you find to use it on. Nowhere near as powered as an electric one. No one's ever going to say that. In fact, when I first got it, I was pretty disappointed at how powerful it was. But for things I have used it for, because it's just so quick and easy to set up. I mean, I've got it plugged into a hose pipe at the minute. But I normally use it with just a bucket of water, and it's got its own thing you can put on where you can draw it straight out of the bucket, and it is so useful for that feature, really is. Like I said, if you want an electric one, or both even, yeah, go for it. But and I'm not sponsored by Works or anybody. Nobody even knows who I am. Not even YouTube, I don't think. But yeah. That's the brushless model. I think I paid 200 quid for it, and I bought it 3-4 years ago, and I've used it. You will literally be amazed for jobs you find to use with it. Anyhow, that's enough of plugging that. I don't get anything for it, I just thought I'd mention it. Right, there's the yellow bucket, the famous yellow bucket. That's where I'm going to stick the DPF back when I've finished this now. And I'm pretty much going to leave it now till tomorrow. The weather isn't cooperated today, like I said. But apparently we've got a few days of dry weather now, so hopefully she'll get the winds in next. Like I said, I'm not worried if it fully dries out, because I can do this in half and half. So if the first half goes in and there's still water in there, I'm not too worried, because I will then drain it out and then fill it up with fresh. Anyhow, that'll do for today. Have a good one, everyone.